look at the great shooters in basketball history, almost all of them shoot a little bit differently, but they own, their mechanics, and they're able to repeat those over and over again. So, I'm giving guidelines about how to shoot, and there's things that you can copy and that you can work on, but you don't want to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to other great shooters. What you want to compare yourself to is how many shots did I make yesterday versus today? Am I getting better? Am I challenging myself? Am I pushing myself to the next limit? Is finding, we call it finding your arch. And so in any athletic position, to be able to have that balance and that strength through your feet, you basically take the arch of your foot and you plant that into the ground as best you can. We don't want to be able to roll out on the outside of our feet. One, you're going to create injuries, and two, you're just not going to have any balance and strength through your jump shot. So finding that arch is key. Planting it into the ground, allowing all of that energy and that strength come up through your lower body, and being able to get out of that position into a nice jump shot, a nice extended position from there. We want to be able to really work on what it feels like to move the ball around our body from a static position, so that when we are moving in a game-like situation, that ball is moving at the same speed as our body is. And we are always in balance and always ready to change direction, always ready to be shot ready, always having control of the basketball at all times. So we work on that by being in a solid athletic position, nose behind our toes, hips loaded. I can always just dribble out here. I can pound the ball into the ground. When I'm talking about doing a between the legs move, I want to be able to work on turning my shoulders and moving the basketball around my body, as opposed to moving my feet and becoming a less efficient dribbler. So I can work on that by just keeping my feet still, pounding the ball, going between my legs. So we always want to have that ball on a string and being able to do whatever we want to do with it. Up until my freshman year in high school, I used to shoot kind of like a catapult, where I wasn't always the strongest kid. I was usually the shortest kid on my team. So in order for me to shoot from further out, I kind of had to sling it from basically below my waist and kind of just basically catapult it as hard as I could. I naturally had a pretty good touch, pretty good aim, and pretty good rhythm with it, but my release point was entirely too low for me to really be effective on that varsity level with taller defenders, taller guys trying to guard me. Sometimes you might, be sitting at home thinking, how am I gonna get better today? I don't have anybody around to help me get shots up, to help me rebound, to go to the gym with me. You can't let that be an excuse for you, to not take advantage of the opportunity to go get better. And so a simple, drill that you can work on, if it's just you, a basketball, and a rim, is perfecting the toss back to yourself to be able to get into that shot-ready position and work on your mechanics. So it may seem simple, but the simple art of being able to throw the ball out with a little bit of backspin and get it into your shot is very, very key to be able to take advantage of those opportunities where you're in the gym by yourself and to get those reps up. So obviously, if I just take a little spin here, I can almost simulate a pass coming into my shot pocket, getting my mechanics right, and being able to shoot from that position, get the ball back. I can do it all over again from all different angles, and you can work on your shot that way. So I can do the rollouts from all different angles. I can do it where I'm doing a little curl into the basket. You can almost even do a step back where you come in here and get shot ready. So everything is simulating a game-type pass into my jump shot, even when I'm all by myself. All the greatest shooters are great at using their legs as the foundation for their shot. They don't shoot with their arms. They shoot with their legs first, so they get that energy, that flow, and that motion, and that power through their jump shot, and everything else is kind of a flow from there. So the best way to get into that position, obviously we talked about 10 toes to the rim, loading our hips, our backside, and getting into this good shooting position, this good, well-balanced athletic position is key. We don't want to have our knees bent in. We call that valgus. We don't want to have our knees bent in or out. We want to have everything squared, shoulders, toes, hips all in the same line. And we don't want to have our knees in front of our toes. Then we lose our balance. All right, we want to have our knees behind our toes, loaded into our hips, loaded into our glutes, And from there, you can basically be able in great athletic position to be able to rise out of your shot and really explode through your core. So that's where you get all of your motion. That's how you can shoot the same from whether it's in the paint all the way out into the deep three area, all because of that core and that power that you get from loading your lower body in the right way. It's almost like you're putting your fingers right into the basket and putting that gooseneck right into your target. So that's kind of what you want to visualize as you finish with a high follow through and great extension on your jump shot. Here, Brandon is fanning his shooting hand, which makes the ball spin sideways and move from side to side. Similar to fanning, thumbing gives you the left to right action and side spin. You need to keep that thumb from pushing the ball forward. When you release and finish, make sure your elbow isn't too high. We don't want too much arc on the basketball. We want about a 45 to 48 degree arc. Anything higher than that, you start to lose a little bit of control and accuracy.